Good morning, class. Power Up F today for this fine Wednesday. Go ahead and put your names at the top of the paper. Double check always that you have your name on the paper. Lesson 59, we're going to learn how to subtract fractions from 1. It's kind of exciting. I like to think about pizzas and cookies when we're doing this. And then we got the mental math here. It's on page 371. Multiply today. 7 times 9 is 63. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 9 is 54. 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 9 is 36. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 8 is 56. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 9 is 45. 3 times 4 is 12. 8 times 9 is 72. 2 times 2 is 4. 10 times 10 is 100. 4 times 6 is 24. 6 times 7 is 42. 2 times 8 is 16. 7 times 7 is 49. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 8 is 64. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 6 is 18. 5 times 8 is 40. 4 times 7 is 28. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 9 is 18. 7 times 1 is 7. 4 times 5 is 20. 6 times 8 is 48. 2 times 4 is 8. 0 times 0 is 0. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 8 is 32. 2 times 6 is 12. 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 9 is 27. And 6 times 6 is 36. All right, mental math. We're going to round 5 3/16 to the nearest inch. Now, some of these will be pretty easy. You can do them maybe in your heads. We got half of 16. Hi-ya! Gives us 8. And 3 is less than. So you're going to stay at a 5 inches. B says, in bowling, the highest possible score for one game is 300. Deshaun scored 50% of 300. What was his score? When I say 50%, you say 1/2. Half of 300 is a pretty good score. By this time, if we were in school, we'd have gone bowling once. And I probably would have beat you all. Just kidding. But every year I do win, except for that one year Mr. Woody beat me. Anyhow, back to work. 2 goes into 3 1 times. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract, you get 1. Bring down the 0. 2 goes in 10 5 times is 10. 2 goes into 0 0. 150. What was the score? 150 pins, I think it would be. Pins, bowling pins. C. Altogether, how many sides are on 4 dozen squares? Well, how many is 4 dozen? 4 dozen is 4 times 12. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. You have 4 dozen squares. You got 48 squares. Now, how many sides are on each square? 4. So now you got to take that times 4 again. 4 times 8 is 32. Carry the 3. 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19. 192 sides. D. How many days are in 3 weeks and 3 days? That's a bracket plus. 3 times days, weeks, 7 plus 3 more days. So we're trying to figure out how many days are in 3 weeks. 3 times 7 is 21. And then 3 more days is 24. 24 days. E says fractional parts. What's half of 101? 1/2 of 101. Well, I think we know what half of 100 is. That's 50. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down the 1. 2 goes into 1 0 times. And now you got 50 and a half. F 10% of 50. When I say 10%, you say 1/10 of 50. Divide by the bottom number. Goes 5 times. G. Shaquana, I believe is her name. Save $35 each month for 6 months. How much money does she have? She's a good saver. $35 times 6 months. 6 times 5 is 30. 0 down, 3 up. 6 times 3 is 18. 19, 20, 21. After 6 months of hard savings, she has $210. Put that money into the bank. All right, F, going across the bottom, we got 6 times 6 equals 36. Minus 1 equals 35. Divided by 7 equals 5. 5 times 4 equals 20. Plus 1 equals 21. Divided by 7 equals 3. Problem solving problem of the day. Choose an appropriate problem solving strategy to solve this problem. 2 rolls of pennies have a total of 100 cents or $1. Paul opened up the 2 rolls of penny and formed a square array with the pennies. How many pennies would be on each column of the array? So we're going to have a square, and so when we have a square, we got this number times this number, and these numbers need to be the same. So what number times itself equals 100? Pretty soon we learn about the square roots. The square root of 100 equals 10. So 10 times 10. 10 times 10. How many rows? How many columns? 10. And it asked us for just how many of each column? 10 columns. Oh, how many pennies? 10 pennies. Alright guys, lesson 59, flip that over. Divide that into 6. Check out what to put on that in those 6 on the next video.